You know,
Yeah, that had to be land.
had to be land. And look, there's no other break. The only break is the Hudson Bay, where you can come in north of Maine, and then you can get around international waters, as in Canada, America, and you can come in through these Hudson Bay and down the Great Lakes. And guess what they say is one of the biggest military submarine bases? Gary, Indiana, the town that they make look like a crap hole. The town that time forgot. That's just because they want you to think that underneath of it is one of the biggest military submarine bases in the world, and that's because they can get anywhere and everywhere from that one spot.
Could I show y'all something? One more thing, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You put me back up.
Yeah, this is a globe that I got in my house, like an older globe, right? And look on here, it say America side of Indian Nova. But look, it say Anion right on here. I didn't even notice that. And look how close that is.
Y'all remember when they?
Yeah. So my question is, Rashaud, and we can find this out hopefully one day. Is that you got China, right? But that's old. That's old. That's new. So you have Tartaria, but before that you had the Scythians, right? Before that you had the Hyperboreans. I've never heard of this Anion thing.
Yeah,
It's like
I've
people
never.
people trip on Tartarian, but before Tartarians there were Scythians, and it said the ones who destroyed the mound builders were Scythian and Tartar armies are the ones who destroyed the mound builders sent from the north.
That's crazy.
But
Well,
who are these Anions?
I've heard of the Straits of Anion before. Like I just,
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I did a video. I talked about it before, but I
That's
never,
awesome.
I never really seen like the landmass part of it. So now I'm interested in the landmass.
Oh yeah, I seen it and didn't even pay it no mind. But I've been researching Quivira because I'm like that whole landmass over there, like people don't even talk about it. And honestly, if you look on like your maps, like Apple Maps or whatever, it looks like next to California a whole bunch of land underwater.
And there's a chance that they make it look like that when it ain't. But y'all remember when they dropped that BOMB? Oh wait, no, it was like a plant or something that exploded in Japan. Y'all remember?
No.
Like something had happened in Japan. It was like a chemical plant that exploded, and some of the chemicals went into the ocean. And then they said that the chemicals were going to make their way to the coast of California.
Well, and think about it. If you look at the Pearl Harbor, the planes that they had, they didn't hold enough fuel to make it to actual Pearl Harbor from their takeoff point. And that's something that history just, they wanted us to forget about. So where did they actually take off from? Or are they a lot closer than what our history books teach us? We have to remember that Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, was the one who was writing these children books that you and I and everybody else listening read growing up. So when they say that they did it, well, it was impossible. Physics, law, you have to have enough fuel to make it there. Well, where did they really take off if they made it all the way to Hawaii?
I believe that everything is closer than they say it is. I don't believe that everything is completely connected, but I do believe everything, if not connected, is extremely close. And that's why
I agree. Like I don't think you can get to Africa from the Grand Canyon.
Nah.
But I think there's vortexes in the ocean.
Bruh, have y'all seen those it kind of looks like Grand Canyon. I think it's over in like Kakistan or I don't know, some crazy country over there in Europe or Asia, but like it looks just like the Grand Canyon. Have y'all seen that?
Pull up my picture real quick of Nashville, Tennessee. You know where all the good old country music's at. I've been whatever reason why we would build Greek thing, no sense, right? But why would you put the statue in front of it?
Hey, so I was just there, Reese. I was just there maybe like 2 months ago. I was just there. I got a video on my page, but there was a lot of interesting shit. For one,
dude, yeah, that place was awesome, wasn't it?
It was amazing. Now, if you looked at the so there was a plaque there that was talking about like this building being built, and then like so the thing that interests me about the time that it was built is it didn't match with what was going on in the world at the time. Like, how are the things that they're saying was happening, but they have time while that's going on to do this?
It's the largest statue of Athena. Nobody worshipped any of the pagan gods when they came here. Why would you build the largest statue of Athena in the world? Why isn't it an exact replica of what they say is in Greece? Why is there astrological symbols as in Aries, the ram, Leo, the lion, Virgo, the mother goddess, right? Like, why would you have that? Why would you have doors that were 12 feet tall?
And how are you able to do it while there's wars going on?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the best part between the Civil War and all the world wars. You know, like what, you know, the Revolutionary War. But yet they were able to like they were able to do all this.
The resources,
yeah,
or, you know, to do this. It doesn't make sense. As soon as I got to it, I looked at it and I was like, no, this didn't happen when they said it happened. There's no way possible that they built this shit when they said that they did.
Exactly.
That was my first immediate thought.
Especially when you think about like look at A1 sauce, invented in 1863. So you're telling me in the middle of the Civil War, somebody said, you know what we need? We got enough steak. We need some sauce. That's what we need to do. We need some sauce.
Yeah, let's create some sauce while there's a war going on.
And then they made it and they patented it. It's the best steak sauce in history. But nobody's thinking about that. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, it's all lies.
Yeah, and look at these columns. You know, it's the only thing surviving from the Nashville World's Fair.
I wish you would have took a picture of the plaque that's in the back of it, like where that big is. Like, you know, when you go down, there's like a plaque. Peace, highly advanced. There's a plaque down there that talks about like the building, the rebuilding, and everything like that. And the time frames that they have on there just don't add up. I wish I had pictures.
No. None of it adds up.
Yeah, I wish. That's crazy. I was just walking past that shit not too long ago, looking at it.
And to think, where I'm standing used to be a pyramid, literally right where you stand. Because remember, they were at the World's Fair, they were right next to each other. So where I'm standing used to be a pyramid, and now it's just a green field. They didn't even replace it. They tore it down, put up grass. And I'm like, that's probably why I didn't read it. I was so pissed off. I just wanted to leave because I was like, there used to be a pyramid here. And now I'm standing on this dirty ass grass.
But then if you look back, like, so from that place where you're at right now, if you look back, there is a pyramid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
It's probably not the pyramid that was obviously originally there, but there's a pyramid, like,
There's an obelisk there too.
Yeah, not a pyramid.
At the back of the property.
Hey, forgive me. I'm not talking about a pyramid. There's an obelisk right down the road from there. That's what I was trying to say. Right down the road.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even know that was there. When I saw them in the distance, I was like, damn.
Yeah, so when I seen it, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, how is all this shit taking place? And then when I went to the plaque for the obelisk, I was reading it, and they're talking about like warring with the Indians and all this shit. And the dude came from North Carolina and went down there, and then next thing you know, they're building obelisk and they're building Parthenons, and I'm like, how is any of this taking place? Like,
yeah, I took all these pictures. Whoever's asking, but that's gonna be so people chirp out because they see this, the swaths on all these things. Well, that is the spiritual cross, right? It's the spirit that represents spirit. But what they did is when you look these up and you see them how they're lit up, they didn't have light bulbs. They painted it with a radium paint, and then at night, so during the day, it would absorb the UV light. And at nighttime, that's how it lit up. They didn't need electricity and they didn't need light bulbs. They just needed a certain type of stone painted with a paint that had radium in it, mixed in it, and it would self-illuminate.
Yeah, they were using that same radium to illuminate fireplaces in these mansions and shit like that.
Yep.
And
that's why when people say, hey, they whitewashed it, like white people they didn't just whitewash it because of white people. They whitewashed it to cover the radium.
Ooh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Those European bastards definitely whitewashed a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, Winston Churchill whitewashed a lot, and Queen Elizabeth, a lot of stuff. Indeed. But the real reason of whitewashing is because they paint the Great Pyramid, all these old world buildings. By washing them, they covered all the radium, and the red brick, which harnessed the electricity.
Now that makes sense because a lot of shit would be lit up, and we would have no clue how it's all taking place. But it's through the radium, and they had all these things like, so they had all these damn, hold on, I gotta turn my other phone back on. I just turned it off. But they had all these articles where they were talking about how radium was a free source of energy that could be used forever. And then they were talking about how it was healing people. And then I guess, I don't know what took place in history, but they went from all that good information to next thing you know, they're saying, oh, the radium girls are still glowing and, they got poisoned by the radium. But then when you look up, I don't know if you've ever just thought about looking this up, you can look up the amount of radium that's in the water. There's radium deposits and like all the
that's
water.
What I think. All the elites keep the radium to themselves. Because every element everything has two elements. So the sun has gold, but its dual pair is radium.
I'm trying to see if I can find some shit right now.
Oh, sorry. And I think it's in the 80s. Its element is in the 80s, I believe. Because you got gold 79, mercury is 80. I think radium's 88, maybe. I believe it's 88. I'm just winging this here. I'm just off of memory.
I'm trying to look it up right now, but my phone, my old phone is a piece of trash.
So this newspaper here at the very top talked about mound builders swastikas found. So which mound builders predate at least 12,000 years before it was every Oriental. And then, which is an amazing freaking article. And then underneath of it, trains powered by rivers, railroad driven by electricity through the power generated in swift running river is soon to be installed. So again, water power, not electricity. They take water and they convert it into power. all the more things that they've taken from us. Right here from the 18 whatever. Can't see at the top. But this is one of the coolest articles I've ever found. And it shows you as that map shows you the list of the S word and where they're found the most. And guess where they're found the most? Americas. The Americas.
Hey, you know what's interesting about radium, right? Is
what's that?
You talked about it being like connected to the sun, right?
Yep.
So its atomic number is 88, but
that's what I thought. Okay.
But it's raw.
Raw, yeah. Yeah.
And this is the never-ending light.
And guess what planet has 88 days it takes to go around Earth? Mercury. And Mercury is number 80 element. Isn't it funny how and then Earth, its base frequency is 8. Isn't that ironic? It's a joke.
I'm starting to believe coincidences don't exist.
They do not exist, my friend.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. That's why the analemma is a figure 8. You know? So, like, this is the analemma. This is where the sun moves from tropic to tropic. And that's the shape it makes in 1 year from tropic to tropic. Infinity sign.
Hold on. Let me see if I can show you something. Damn, I keep forgetting how to use my goddamn. You see that?
Radio. Oh, yeah. But see, do you guys think that we can get our hands on this stuff still? Somehow?
It's everywhere. Like, I was so interested in it that I was looking it up, and they say that it's in the water. Damn! Oh, look! Look, my phone just died, and I had just got to the map where they show the radium in the water. It's a lot of it on the East Coast. The majority of it is in like the northeast of America, in the water system. So if it's in the water, then that means it still exists in the soil or wherever it's from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think it's in those healing springs, and I found a thing in southern Indiana. It said the mud clay was a magnetic healing element.
I believe it. What is it? I can't think of that magnetic stone.
What's what now?
I'm trying to think about a specific magnetic stone, but I can't think of it. But they say like the dude that
you know what you're talking about.
Because they say that the dude that created, I think so. Like the dude that created the first compass, he had like a nail in his boot or some shit, and he was walking, and it hit it got magnetically pulled to this rock, and da 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 da. From there is history. You know what I'm saying? I can't think
is it cobalt or bowl? Anyways, screw it. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. Damn, I'm gonna have to get this phone fixed because it's full of stuff. Like there's so many things in this phone that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I could still make videos.
You better get it fixed. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this old phone. It's full
of
all my tips.
Look at the top here where it says California Regio. Well, that's not California that we know. So why are they naming areas that are similarly close the same name, right? And these are the 4 rivers of Eden, and you look around and you try to find a couple countries that you can, pick out, which that looks like it's Greenland maybe over there. I'm not sure what exactly that is, but the power symbol, the circle with the line up into it, I think is all based upon this right here. I think there's an opening that goes into that whirlpool, and that's where they get a lot of energy from.
I could have swore it was me and you. You sent me a map and we were looking at it, and like you see where that circle with the line is, like you're talking about. Yep. That's like pretty much like black and white, right?
Yep.
Like little rectangles. Like, do you remember the map that we were looking at, and it had like in the middle of the ocean, it was like talking about a frequency or a sound?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I think. There's something there.
That would be in that same. That would be in those same locations that we're looking at right now.
And like, there's a lot of talk right now about Greenland, like politically, but Greenland is, I think, the blockade into this area.
Yeah, well, it would be, but I think it would be what, Greenland? It would be parts of Canada, parts of Russia, right?
And then yeah. But I think, I don't know how big Russia really is, and how, I know you got Siberia and all that, but it's all interesting. That's for darn sure.
It is. All right, so like on the map that you were just showing,
I can go back to it.
Yeah, because I think these people lied about everything.
See, just real quick, like this right here, when you really look closely into this, or screenshot this, you can kind of see the country layouts. Africa, the Americas, and how this thing goes around, which doesn't really doesn't. Ooh, that's not good. Is it this one you're talking about?
Yeah. All right. So like in the middle of that map, it's called Rupes Nigra, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you got like the Rupes Nigra, and people say, "Oh, Rupes Nigra is black rock," but I was like, all right, well, let me look into it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what the fuck is really going on. But Rupes is an escarpment, right? And an escarpment means a cliff, right? But an escarpment, it means a cliff, right? But it talks about being on another moon. I mean, on a moon or another planet or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to it, right? If you were to go to that area, instead of it being a mountain, based on what a rupus really is by definition, you would get to a cliff. And it would be taking you down.
So down instead of up?
Yeah, so instead of it being a mountain there, you're lying, it's a cliff taking you down, right? So it would really be a black hole.
So do you think it takes you somewhere, though?
I think it takes you to an inner something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to assume anything, but if they're talking about it, if they've designated it to be a rupus, then it's going to take you down into something, right? And
yeah, I mean, that would make sense to me. And see, I don't subscribe to that, or I haven't given a lot of thought yet to say I don't subscribe to it. But what I like about that is that why else would the government and military completely block that entire thing off? Like, if it was just a whirlpool, why wouldn't they admit it, or just it'd be in a whirlpool? You know what I mean? Like, that's something that the public could believe. But if there's somewhere that it could take you, that makes a lot of sense, because that's something for a good reason for them to hide it.
Exactly, because it's deeper than just, oh, you're gonna find a big ass rock that's magnetic. It's a magnetic north. Blah 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 blah. But you know, like in etymology, north means below. So if you were to go to the magnetic rock that's supposed to be the north, that means you would have to get to a point where you're only north enough to go down.
Exactly. And my interpretation of all that and my belief is it's only the attachment of a as above to the below, because
Exactly.
the North Pole and the angles to the ecliptic north and celestial north are all based upon that spot. So black meaning lacking color, voiding color, and mountain meaning the compass of the Freemason. That is that area, the 2 points of that Arctic Circle connecting to one point in the sky, which is the last star of the Little Dipper. It's celestial. It can't be seen.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% agree with you to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, Santos Bonacci says that there is a mountain and you have to be holy of soul, and if you step on it and you're not pure of heart, like the feather, that you'll disintegrate. You know what I mean? You'll go back in the loop.
Hey,
But you
but
have
look,
you.
but think
Go
about
ahead.
this. Think about this, right? Now look at it from a whole nother angle, right? So let's say you get to there and it is a cliff and it takes you down, but it's a circle, right? So if it's a circle and you get to it and there's cliffs taking you down, what would it really be? It would be a mountain, but it's just going inward. So if you came out the other end and were able to look at it, it is indeed a mountain, right? They call it Rupus Nigra, right? This is what a Rupus is: an escarpment on another planet or a moon, right? It's Latin for a cliff.
But you're saying it's a it's concave, right?
Indeed. Like
So
what you're looking at.
so check this. What does Horus ride across the galaxy, the sea? A canoe. What's a canoe? It's concave. You know what I mean? Once you get there, when you ride across it, that whole canoe, it's all about the crescent. And a crescent is a concave convexity. I don't know what the hell you call it. I'm too high. I'm too high fucking to know the
like
answer to
this,
that
like two canoes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a canoe. They're always riding a canoe. And I know it's the spirit in the afterlife, but it also could be physical as well.
I think everything's connected.
I do too. And Horus is always on the canoe. It's all about that canoe.
And where do all these deities really go? Right? Because everybody that comes and brings advanced wisdom, they just disappear.
Yep.
Without dying.
So Osiris dies. They put him in the river in a canoe, and then he on the bank he grows a great tree, a great acacia tree, or maybe Mount Meru tree. You know what I mean? Like it all makes a heck of a lot of sense, my friend.
This is what I think is going on. Now I don't care too much for the round earth thing, but this top part, this is what I think is going on there. Because if you think about it, if an escarpment is a cliff, right? Then you make it there, boom, and this is the cliff that would take you down into whatever is down there. You know what I'm saying? And that would make sense because if it's the north and it's magnetic north, right? North means below. So and if everything's connected, right? So the difference between light and dark is what? I mean, you know what I'm saying? The difference between light and dark is really nothing. They meet at a place and they're the same thing at one point, right? So north would be south once you get to it for real.
Right.
Once you get to north truly, you would have to be south then. Right? There's no other thing to do.
So let me blow your mind. Make us double screen since nobody else is coming up. Then that way we'll both be big screen.
I don't even know how to do that, man.
Oh, I thought you did.
Hold on, it says expand you first, and then
I think it's like layout. You gotta go to layout.
All right, hold on. That's an August. Damn, I don't go live enough.
You and me both, bub. But you do whatever you want to
do. Hey, look, I want to do that, but I done forgot how to.
Yeah, I gotta get off here anyway soon. I just want to show you this. So I found this in an 1832 book, I think it is, and it didn't. It's just it was kind of like so back in the day when things were hidden. I might have been 1532. I can't remember when it was. But when they would hide things, they'd hide them in plain sight in their little books called magic transistors. I believe this to be the North Pole and the South Pole. This is the vortex in. You see how there's four rivers flowing in. Okay, that's the black hole in the middle. You got your mountains of Tartaria. You got your mountains of north of Canada or north of the Cana, whatever you want to call it. You got Greenland, an inlet, but then on bottom you have a North Pole and a South Pole. Well, water goes in the North Pole and it comes out the South Pole, and that's what's in Antarctica, and that's why we can't go there. We can't go to the North Pole or the South Pole, and it's either that the South Pole creates the firmament, or the South Pole is inside of Earth, and that's where all the fresh water comes from after the Earth filters the salt water.
Hell yeah! Where the hell is David when I need him? Because that's some shit that he be talking about. I can't think of the name of the place that he talks about where all that stuff takes place. Like it's low key like like you get to places where there's damn waterfalls under the water.
100%. Yeah, I've done videos on this for years, and we're getting to the point now where people will start listening to guys like me and you. But look at it. Why else would they put this in a book? In the early, between 15 and 1800s. But doesn't this make the most sense?
It makes absolute sense. I mean, that you're pretty much. And look, I want you to see how much we are on the same page with this thought process, because in my folder with the rest of my Lupus Nigra stuff.
Exactly. That's the exact same thing.
Exactly, because it represents exactly what the hell I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? You get to the north and you have no choice but to find yourself south. You know what I mean?
100%. Because it's no different than our blood, red blood, blue blood, right? Oxygenated or not. Well, exactly. Water is salt water or it's fresh water, and it's a continuation of a cycle. Like the word rain is two different words for God. It's Hindu and it's Egyptian. Ra and In, and it's Ra-Ain. And that's because Father rains down his semen on earth for things to grow. It's rain. Like this stuff is linguistically in plain sight.
Right in front of our faces the whole time. Right? This is they call this anomalies of the North Pole.
Yep. Which matches our eyeballs to a T.
Exactly. And then if you look at your eyeballs in those pictures with those amazing films, right? It looks like oh damn, you on point. Let me. It looks like a goddamn cliff. Oh shit! Look, now they're trying to play.
Oh well. But it's the exact same thing for sure.
Exactly. And your eyeballs, like the what is it? Is that the iris, the color part? When it goes, when you look at the pictures, like what you're looking at, it looks like that part is sinking into your eye. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, because all light converges. So that like the center point there, that's your eyeball. Everything has a focal point. It's perspective, and it's all about light bending, and it all makes sense. You have to have a center point, so it only makes sense for Earth to have a center point. But it's all based between the Earth, the Sun, and I think it's the Polaris system. It's either the Polaris system or the Orion system. But all light bends, but it only bends inside of this element or envelope of Earth from the firmament to the ground.
The only reason why I'd say it might be the Polaris system is because within that system you find the North Star, and then if you research the North Star, it'll let you know that anywhere in the world, if you follow the North Star, it's going to bring you to a specific point.
I agree with that 100%. I do, because the New Age stuff, they get people tripped up on this whole Pleiades. No, it's not about the Pleiades. It's because it's not about the seven stars of the Pleiades. It's the seven stars of the Little Dipper. But they want you to think it's all about the seven stars of the Pleiades, and they're very important. But not when it comes to your soul ascension, the light, and all that thing, because that's not a ladle. Because that line's not supposed to connect. That's a staff. That's the staff of David. And who is David? Right, the lion slayer. David was Judah. David the king. That's the staff of Saturn and the staff of David, and it's all about bringing forth light.
Well, goddamn.
Just a little rant, nothing crazy.
That's what this shit is all about. Peace,
this is the most important thing people can study right here to understand what we're talking about.
Look, and you know another place where you can find this happening, and they show it to you. Have you ever heard of that movie 13 Ghosts?
Yep.
That machine that's in the middle is this.
Is it really?
Think about it.
Wow.
Think about it, because they're trying to show you, because on that machine they have the 13 ghosts, right? Yeah. The 13. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to represent all the constellations and everything, or the astrology. But then they have like the flat surface. But then, as those things click, it starts to spin, right? But when it's spinning, the machine, you still got that middle part, and then all these different those I don't know what to call them on that machine. I guess you would call them like different, like blades or whatever, but they rotate in the same fucking angles as all these kind of images do. I didn't know who they were trying to come up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That really is crazy, because it's all based upon the sky, hands down. And this is proof. Oh dang, it's too big. Each one of these arrows is a holiday, and the holiday is based upon when the sun is moving through a certain position in the sky. It's not pagan, it's astrological.
That's all it's ever been.
It's all everything in this world, in this realm. Every kid story, every holiday, every savior. It's all about the sky. But it's also how important that you and I are.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. But do you know what machine I'm talking about, right? On the 13 Ghosts?
Yeah. Yep.
Damn. I thought I had it. All right, hold on. Look, this is just for the people in the comments. because I mentioned it, so I don't want to show it. Damn, I don't know if they're gonna show it. This machine, I don't know if y'all remember, but this looks like the maps. Like, I know you have a map, Holy Trinity, that looks just like what we just seen.
Yeah. For sure, somewhere I do, because that looks very familiar.
Let me see if it'll show the machine when it starts doing its thing. It won't. It won't because I won't. Oh, yeah. It's just not loading. Peace, Kaiser. Oh shit. Maybe not. You see?
Yeah, I can see.
And they're sitting on the little flat earth. They were sitting in the magnetic north, and all that other energy is spiraling around them, just like the image you just shown. The 13 ghosts.
That's amazing.
Zodiac. You know what I'm saying? The 13 ghosts.
That's awesome.
Zodiac. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I gotta hop off here, man. I had a long day, but catch me tomorrow if you want.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
If you'll be on.
I've been gone for a while, but I'm back now. So you know what I'm saying? We definitely.
Yeah, me too. I took a break myself.
Yeah, man, it's good for the mental.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, hit me up, man. Anytime you want to go live, that way I'll have a better access to all my pictures and receipts for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this phone together and send some shit to myself so we can do some good shit. All right, man. You be safe, man.
You too. Peace.
All right, man. Well, shit, y'all. I guess there ain't nothing else to talk about since we talked about that topic. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to hop into a book after that. I'm gonna end it. You feel me? I'm gonna end it. It's kind of late. You know what I mean? Reading is a lot of work. You know. I hope y'all enjoyed the live though. I'm gonna be live tomorrow, probably around noon. You feel me? And we gonna make it happen. This was a kind of unexpected live. Not really unexpected, but I didn't expect to talk about that topic. I was just gonna do what I usually do. But here we are, you know. Who's this? Oh, that must have been an accident. All right, y'all. Peace and abundance. I appreciate it. Hopefully y'all learned something. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Grasp some shit about the North Pole, or what they call the North Pole, but I really think it's a black hole that leads you into the inner earth. You feel me? Somebody's been lying, you know, but we're about to get to the bottom of it. All that